بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. So Alhamdulillah, we have reached the month of Sha'ban, and Ramadan will be coming up shortly soon, inshallah. Allah give us a chance to reach Ramadan, give us life to Ramadan, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the barakat of Ramadan. Now obviously, in the prelude or the build up to Ramadan, and even beginning of Ramadan, you will hear many lectures and you hear many nasiha, many advices, book readings, stories of the ulama of the past, the salihun and the salihat, and how they spent their Ramadan and how they done the ibadah. Now, I just want to mention one point. Sometimes you have I saw a few posts on social media. So the ulama, what's the ulama going to do? Ulama in the bayans, the lectures, what are they going to do? Their goal is to try to encourage goodness, to encourage khair, to encourage fara'id obviously, and as many nawafil as possible. And they will narrate stories of all sorts. Stories of ulama who've done, ulama and sulh who've spent like mind-boggling feats in Ramadan. How much Quran khatam they did, how much tilawah they did, how much time they spent in dua, how much time they spent in tahajjud. You will hear all of these things. Because the goal is what the goal and objective is. We need to set standards as high as possible. You follow me? And along with this, you have to remember that when we're speaking, you can't have a disclaimer on everything. You get it? You have to have that enough aql and enough intelligence that to know that everything is in a particular context. And if you're not able to understand it in a context, how do you understand the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? It comes in the Quran, فَقْتُلُوا مَا وَجَدْتُمُوهُمْ. If you can't understand that everything has a context, everything has a taqdeem, and that everything has a mahal al-wuqu', everything is spoken in a particular context. You have to understand the context. Do you understand? So I was reading last year I saw a post that the ulama, it's so easy, the ulama and the people who are doing bayans and lectures, it's very easy for them to mention all of these stories, but sometimes it's very hard for so and so people. I mean, they know that, the ulama know that. Like, for example, let me give someone an example. There's a farmer. He can't close his shop. He can't retime his cows. He can't retime the sunrise. So all he has to do is wake up for his suhoor. He has to go look after his cows and his sheep at the same time. He can't go to sleep earlier. He can't have extra nap. He has to do, because the cows and the sheep are going to wake up at the same time. He has to milk the cows. He has to milk the sheep. He has to go to the farm. The sun is going to be the same hot. He can't close his office. He has to go out. He has to do his same thing. The sun is going to be hot. So for that person, just to do a fast, his fast is probably much. A farmer who's fasting, wakes up for his fajr salah, he has a suhoor, he does his fast, he goes to his farm, he earns for his family, he comes back home, and he just performs his 5 farahs of the fast. He's a wali of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We know that. We're not expecting him to say, now you need to spend 2, 3, 4, 5 hours in tahajjud along with you the full day. If he does that, then I don't know, he's probably an angel. But everything in the context. So when you hear, and not only this, when you hear any lecture, so the ulama will mention stories of full person read one khatam a day. Yes. And he was able, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed him with financial stability maybe. Maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala got him with certain circumstances that he didn't have a lot of other commitments. And he was able to do this. And if you don't have that, Allah has not given you that, do what you can. You have to understand that. It's not like you can't put disclaimers only for so and so. Not have a small little disclaimer under every single lecture that is refers to so and so people, not to so and so people, not to so and so. You have to have your own intelligence yourself. Do you understand? So the ulama will narrate these stories. And some of you are mind-boggling. You can't even think how they do this. And everybody, the whole point of this is to understand that yes, this is for a particular person, and we have to learn from this and do what we can from this. You may have to go to work. So you may have to go to work. You have a night shift. That's your job. So if you have a night shift, that's your earning is your thing. So you can't spend a whole night in tahajjud qiyamul layl because you have to work in the night. You have to maybe stock something in the shops. So you can't do qiyamul layl. But maybe you can say, well, no, I can't do that, but at least I can maybe come home and perform 2 rakats. And if the ulama were to stop narrating and stop telling these stories, then what will happen? The whole standard will drop. And every single person can't reach these peaks. But at least we have these stories, we're aware of what can be achieved. And it's always a shaitani ploy. You never see people complaining that when you tell stories about Ronaldo and Messi, then our kids they feel despondent that how much training do they do, and our kids can't do that much training. You ever see somebody say that? Nobody ever says that, isn't it? They only say that, but when you hear the stories of the Surah husband, the whole night, qiyamul layl, it's over now, that's impossible and it's too hard for us, or we feel despondent. So the same way you understand, okay, these are the elite sports personalities who train so much. And if you have the chance and ability, you train so much, you can become like that as well. Nobody complains then. It's not from shaitan. So yes, you have to understand that when these things are said, that is this, and you have to have that understanding that this is in a context. You may have a mother, or she may have 4 or 5 kids, and she may have a baby, so she wakes up in the middle of the night. She's so tired, and so her ibadah become different. You may have a person, he has a father, he has to go to work, he's got a very difficult job. He comes home in the afternoon, he may not even be able to do one before Maghrib. He has a very physical job, a bricklayer, or he has a physical job. He comes home, he performs the salatu, he presses the Zuhr at work, he comes home for Asr. After Asr, he's so tired, he's just waiting for Maghrib. He can't even concentrate on he's like probably dehydrated, everything. That, fine. But the ulama will have to explain, so the person will understand that I would wish I could do dua before Maghrib. I'm just dehydrated, I'm feeling like I'm going to faint. I'm feeling so tired, I'm just going to go to sleep again before Maghrib. So he doesn't do that. Maybe his fast is probably better than my fast and many other people's fast. We have lots of ibadah because it's so hard for him to fast. You understand? So every person, Allah will give everybody accordingly. However, the job of we need to have, like for example, in ilm, there's so many ulum which are like zawaid, like very, very elite, very, very niche knowledge that 99.9% of the ummah don't even need to know. But it is there, they have to preserve because it has some fawaid, some masail, some juz'iyat, somewhere, some furu, somewhere. So it's just there. So similarly, but everybody doesn't have to know that. We have to have the basics. Similarly, ibadah as well. Everybody is not going to be able to achieve these stories that you hear. But what do we do from that? How much of this can I take on board? The concept that I learned is Ramadan is very valuable. And in the month of Ramadan, the stories that I'm hearing, that these people exerted their full capacity. What is my full capacity? My full capacity may not be the whole night of Qiyam. My full capacity not maybe 15 juz in a day. My full capacity is not this, but my full capacity is this much. You understand? And if we stop narrating these or telling these, then what will happen? Nobody will even know what to do. Do you understand? So sometimes, like for example, all is different. Sometimes you may have even nawafil. Certain nawafil, you can't say, well, it's voluntary. It's not compulsory. But if you don't try to promote it, you try to, at least some people are doing it. So maybe, let's say for Asr Salah, middle of work in winter. So somebody comes for Salah, he barely gets to Jama'ah, he has to go quickly. Understood, no problem. But we still have to encourage, look, after Salawat, the Adhkar. After Salawat, try the Adhkar. At least some people are doing it. Why? So this practice does not leave the Ummah as a whole. So even as a nafil, we want to have this at least within the, say, well, know what, before Maghrib Salah, it's a very blessed time. Somebody's got to work. You can't come to Maghrib 10 minutes before, 15 minutes before, make dua. But those of us who can, then they should. So these nawafil have to be promoted and promoted correctly. That this amal stays alive. Do you understand? So whenever Ramadan comes, and all these stories you hear, you will hear lots of stories. So if you have the ability to emulate them, you never see a parent saying, oh, don't try to be like Ronaldo or Messi, because it's too hard to be like that. They would encourage the kids that, yeah, they can become a great footballer, brilliant. What do they say? They encourage them. So if you can become Imam Abu Hanifa and do this much qiyam, brilliant. If you can do this much, then if you can't do that much, how much effort you can do, try and get there. And if your circumstances don't allow that, then you understand that these stories and these explanations and these targheeb is there in the context. And the whole asal and the whole principle is what? Do as much as you can. And take ibrah and take a lesson from these people before. That how much can I do? And that's the thing. And what you can do, Allah will judge you not according to how much you do, Allah will judge you according to your percentage, how much you do. If I close, for me, very simple, madrasa is closed, I got no physical work to do, so I can, very easy for me. So I might do more, but really in Allah's eyes has less value because it's not much mujahadah. You're not doing much. And somebody might do less than me, or less than a lot of us, but their exertion of effort was much more. So Allah doesn't look at all these things. Allah's algorithms are much more complex, and He will reward you inshallah accordingly. Do you understand? So before Ramadan, prepare, read out these stories, read about the ulama, read about the salaha, the salihat, how they spent Ramadan, how much Quran they used to read, how much dua they used to make, how they value the time. And according to your ability, try to start. And then, not only for one Ramadan, try to build up your whole life. Okay, this Ramadan I can do this much, maybe next Ramadan I can get a bit better, do a bit more. So that you can eventually reach those heights of the great ulama, the salaha of the past. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us ability to accept subhanallah wa bihamdi subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.